there, it's Lori here. I am stopping in today with a new stamp focus over at Altenew. This video is all about the new set called Ombre Alpha. This is a really fun alphabet set that has a lot of possibilities. Part of the alphabet is open, so this can be colored, left black and white. There's just lots of options. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card, and we're keeping it simple. I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to line up your letters for the perfectly even sentiment. To get started, you'll need a white card base. You'll need a full sheet of white cardstock. We'll use Ombre Alpha, but you can obviously use any alphabet stamp set you have. We're going to use Classy Striped Stencil from Altenew. This is my favorite stencil ever. And we'll also be using Weekend Doodles. These are some amazing images that also can be left clean and simple. To get started, you'll need a full sheet of white cardstock, your stencil of choice, and you'll need some painter's tape. So I'm going to place this here in the middle of the stencil, and I'm going to tape around this. So now this blended space is the same size as a card front. I'm going to use blender brushes to add in rainbow order distress inks on the front of this card. I'm going to add color to the front of this cardstock with distress inks and blender brushes. So first I'm grabbing Candied Apple. I'm going to turn this sideways because of this stencil. I just want to pull the color towards me. Now I want the color to be darker on the sides and lighter in the middle, so I'm starting off, and as you do this you can just see that it naturally places more color here and here. I want these center stripes to be a little bit of a distressed look. I'm going to put this on fast forward so you don't have to watch me blend, but basically we're just making a rainbow. So now I have my rainbow stenciled card front. You can see that it's darker on the outside and lighter on the inside for a fun distressed look. That stencil is my favorite for sure. We're going to be using Altenew's new Obsidian Pigment Ink. If you guys haven't used this yet, I highly recommend it. It is a very crisp image and the ink dries fast so it doesn't smear. This has definitely become a favorite quickly. We're going to stamp a Weekend Doodle flower here, and then I'm going to stamp the sentiment on the card front. First, I'm just going to ink up the flower and add this just off to the side of the card front. I'm using foam tape to adhere the front rainbow panel to the card front. I'm adding the full piece of fun foam behind the rainbow panel with ATG. I'm going to add some more ATG on the back of the foam, and then we're going to center this and add this to the card. I've cut this card panel down a little bit so there's white showing on each side, and then we're just going to center this up here in the middle and then press that down. So this is the fun part using the new Ombre Alpha. I have this Black & Decker laser level that I got off of Amazon, and this has been such a fun tool to use to line up my sentiments. There's been times where I've drawn a light pencil line and then you have to go back and erase it. Sometimes that smears your ink. This little tool has been so handy and you don't have to worry about pencil lines. I'm going to use my workspace as a guide and attach my card to my workspace with some Post-it tape. You can also use painter's tape or whatever, but this is just a light tack to get this held down. Now if you can see here across the bottom, I'm using this line on my workspace as my sentiment guide. I want my sentiment to start here about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. So I'm lining this up here with this line, making sure that's straight across the bottom, and then I'll just adhere this down so it doesn't move. I'm going to turn on this laser, and you can see this red light comes out from the side. I'm going to line up the laser from the 1/4 inch here and make sure you can adjust it just by tilting it to where the line is over here. And I'm going to sit this out of the way so I don't bump it, but you can put it pretty far out. The laser still shows clear over here. I'm going to grab the O and start working from the right side over. Again, I'm going to use the Obsidian black ink. All you have to do is kind of make sure that your hand stays up. You can see that red line, and then you just press straight down. That gives an amazing image. One really nice thing about this ink too is if you use baby wipes or your absorber, the ink comes right off. It doesn't stain and it doesn't stick. There's another kind of ink that I used to love and it got kind of gunky. This stuff just wipes off nice and clean. Next we're going to go to the L. I always double check that laser line just to make sure I haven't bumped it, but it's still there. Keeping this hand up, I'm just going to drop it right down, and you can see those two are perfectly lined up. We're going to add the other L. I'm going to go in with the E, and the last is the H. So I'm not sure if you can see that line. Let me bring it a little closer so the camera can see. Right there, you can see that I've got the perfectly lined up sentiment. So an easy and fun tool to line up these adorable stamps. To finish this card off, I just added 3 little pearls and kept it clean and simple, just with a stencil, a black and white image, and a fun alphabet sentiment. I hope you've enjoyed my card today. I'm so glad you came by. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.